Hi everyone, my name is Kyle. Welcome back to my channel. I'm glad you're all here today with me. Today I kind of wanted to just try and do more of like a stream of consciousness type of video where I'm just like talking because one, I want to get better at speaking and like feeling more comfortable in front of the camera and just really see what I can do. And two, I really want to talk about death today, so that's kind of what we're going to be talking about, and also my year to live practice that I'm going through. So yes. So just as a disclaimer before we get started, since I am talking about death and it's kind of like a fearful topic for a lot of people, that you don't have to force yourself to watch this video if it's something that you're turned off by or you're not ready to talk about. If you are curious about death and like what ideas are behind death in the spiritual world, please, take your time watching this video if you need to. You can always pause it and breathe to calm yourself or to, whatever you need, just take care of yourself so that way you're not pushing yourself into a space that you don't need to be in if this is not something that you want to be talking about. So today I wanted to talk about my A Year to Live class and how that practice is going. It's based off of a book called A Year to Live, and the premise is in the name. It's about, what would you be doing if you only had a year to live? What actions would you be taking? What are you reflecting on? How are you carrying yourself on through the rest of this life in this last year? So I signed up for this class through Insight LA, which is a meditation organization. And there are about 50-ish participants in my group. So we'll be meeting once a month on Zoom and talking about different topics as we go along, all related to death. So we had our first class at the end of February, and it's been, I think, 18 days since that first class. So I kind of wanted to give an update about how I'm starting to perceive this world and how this book and this class is kind of shaping how I see things and what decisions I'm making. So the first class was really just an introduction to the entire course and what we'll be doing, and getting familiar with death-related topics and introducing ourselves to the entire group. I would say one of the most impactful things that we did in this first class is we were given our death date. So our death date for my class is February 28th, 2022, because that's a year exactly from our first class. So the first thing that they asked us when they showed us this date was kind of to become aware of what our reaction is to seeing that. And for me, as I was like looking at my death date, the first thing that popped into my head was like, that doesn't seem real. Like, this doesn't make any sense to me. This can't be true because like I'm super young. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. So I kind of like completely rejected it at first because it just doesn't seem real that I would only have a year to live. But then as I started to sit with it longer and kind of like go past that initial reaction, I started to find this more intense like passion and purpose, almost as if, since I only have a year to live, like, all right, let's get down to business. If we've got stuff to do and we've only got a year to do it, then I need to get started right away. So that was kind of my initial reaction, is like very energized, like, oh, I'm ready to do things. I'm ready to, make this last year something that is totally and completely full of meaning for myself. So one thing that I've adopted through this practice already is counting the days up. So on the first day of only having a year to live, I was on day one. So I was in that moment, like, okay, it's day one, this is my first day of being alive, and I started to look at life as if I had just been born on the first day, and I was given a mission on this earth. So I only have a year to complete this mission. So day one, here I am on this earth. I've been given context to who I am. There's a whole story behind myself, and I have all of this information available to me that I can work with from my past. And so I kind of have to use that in order to create my present and complete the mission that I've been given here on Earth in a year's time span. So as I started to look at my days in that point of view, it's definitely filled it with a lot more purpose, because now I only have a certain amount of time to complete my mission and leave whatever impact that I'm going to leave here on this earth. So I know that in order to do that, there are things I need to do in order to take care of myself, of my mental and physical being, and also things I need to do in order to spread the message of love, which I believe is my purpose. So that's like the main reason that I started this YouTube channel, because I know I want to throw out all of these ideas to people and really talk about them and communicate about the power of love. So like that's why I'm here, and that's why I'm having this conversation right now. So yeah, I've been referring to each day as they come as, day 5, day 8, day 10. So right now I'm on day 18 of being alive. And yeah, it makes every day feel a lot more important than if it was like, oh, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I work, Saturday, Sundays are my free days. It feels like, there's a lot of presence in every day, and there's a lot of freedom in every day for me to do all of the things that I want to do for myself and to further myself along in this mission that I want to complete. So also during this time, we do have like homework that we're doing for our class, which includes meditating for 20 minutes every day, journaling at least a few sentences, and also we have like an entire spreadsheet where we're going to be reviewing our life and just asking questions like, where did you come from? How did you grow up? What was your childhood like? And really taking the time to reflect on all of the moments that have built us up into the person that we are now, and seeing where there are still places that we might have any regret or any frustration or any unresolved feelings, really, because since we only have a year to live, it's kind of the time to be doing that, because there's only a year, and after that, those things will just be left unsaid or unknown. And so that's like some homework that I'm still like going through, which I'll talk about more in a future video as I complete it. But I have been consistently journaling and meditating every day. And I think it was on day 15 where I didn't get to journal. And I remember being in day 16 and being very sad that I missed journaling on day 15, because it just felt like I had rushed through that day, like I had almost lost that day, like a very precious day that was a part of the last year of my life that I didn't get to really reflect on what had been going on during that time. And it just reminded me it really showed me how impactful this practice has already been, because I felt so sad that I had missed a day, because there are only so many that I have left. So it's really pushing me to be more full and more present in this life, no matter where I'm at, because there are only so many days left. I really haven't experienced any sadness or sad feelings when I'm thinking about my death. I think the only like negative emotions that I'm ever feeling is when I think about the death of my sister or my parents or my family, or other like people that are close to me, I don't necessarily feel like sad that I'm going to die. I feel more sad knowing that I will have to, if that I might have to watch someone close to me die. So that is something very interesting to me. I am really not afraid of my death at all in this moment. And I just know that my death is just the next chapter in my life whenever that time is going to happen. I think we're very lucky to even get to practice that we might have a year to live, when in reality we could die at any moment of any day through an accident, through illness, through many like unrelated causes that we just don't know might happen. So while it's nice to be able to think that I might get to have a year to live, it's also like at the same time, oh, I could die before I even get to the death date that was given to me. So I think thinking about death every day and contemplating it in a way that it could happen at any moment is really pushing me forward in a way that is just releasing me from a lot of weight and allowing me to feel more free in my decisions. Because I feel like I am now just like, it doesn't matter what I do, like I'm just gonna do whatever I wanna do because I only have a year to live, and I'm not going to make my decisions based off of fear of being judged, or fear of being ostracized, or fear of being alone, or fear of, you know, any external forces, because it's just not worth it. It's not how I want to live my life. So my days are kind of starting to look like, you know, they're very early, like I'm waking up very early and I'm really doing things that are doing things in order to take care of myself and to continue living in peace and joy and love and happiness. So I'm journaling every day, I'm meditating every day, I'm doing exercise every day, whether it's yoga or lifting weights. I am talking to people about death a lot more now in my everyday life. I am actively working on regulating my emotions and paying attention to when certain feelings arise and trying to understand them, of what they're trying to tell me. And I'm just paying attention a lot more, and I think that's just like me expressing love for everything that I'm surrounded by, because I like care about everything and I really want to put my love onto everything that I do. And through doing this practice, I feel like for some people, when they hear like, oh, you only have a year to live, like, what are you going to do? Like, you're going to go skydiving over here and you're going to travel all over the world and you're going to do like big thing, adrenaline rush. And that just like doesn't resonate with me at all. I feel like even though I only have a year to live, I'm on a very specific journey for myself, and I know what that journey is so much that I'm not trying to rush my process or find some end goal or find some peak moment that isn't meant for me right now. I feel much more in tune with what I'm doing and where I'm supposed to be and how I want to communicate and who I want to be surrounded by and how I want to be spending my energy, that things like that are not I'm not being pulled towards things like that. They're not like attracting me. I'm not like wildly spending my money or doing something crazy. I'm just like carrying on with my day-to-day life in a way that is so fulfilling and complete for me that it's like my top priority to be doing this routine. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now we're on day 18, so like 2.5 weeks into this practice so far. I'm like totally loving it. I'm very happy. I feel like I'm processing things a lot quicker and moving forward a lot faster and just growing myself in a way that I really didn't know was possible. And I have so much freedom in my choices that everything that I'm choosing just feels so right. Like I don't feel like I could make a wrong choice. at this moment in time, because I know what I want, and I'm going to do everything in my power to honor myself and what I deserve and what I need at these moments. And I also know that most of the fear about death is because of our attachments that we have onto this world, whether it be things or mostly people, and leaving people behind or not being able to see anyone ever again, and kind of like fear of the unknown as well. But I don't know, there's just so much peace, I think, in knowing that I'm connected to love, and love being an energy source, and knowing that I am love, that nothing ever really dies. It just feels like I won't die. Like I just can't imagine like not existing in some type of fashion, which is probably very silly of me, but it just, I feel like a lot of people have that feeling like they'll just never die. And to me, it's like, okay, if there's a lot of us that share that feeling, then there must be some truth to that. Something about us is not going to die. And it is true that, when you do die, those that are still around, their memories of you, the love that they shared with you, is still alive. So you are still alive for the people here on earth. But I think for us, for ourselves, once we die, I think we do still exist in some fashion. It's just going to be something that we have no idea of in this earthly realm. So to think about death in that way is very exciting to me, because, it's the next step on this journey. Like, what is going to happen after this? Where are we going to go? What are we going to see? What are we going to experience? What are we going to feel? I think it's going to be a lot of love and a lot of peace, which sounds really nice to me. So I wouldn't say death is necessarily a bad thing at all. So this is the book that we're reading, A Year to Live, and I just wanted to share a quote from it that I had underlined. It says, "Death is not a test. It is only another opportunity to enter life wholeheartedly." So that totally encapsulates the entire purpose of this practice, is to become closer to death so that we live our life so much more fully and become so much more aware of what we're doing, and really live life to the fullest and full of love, and try our best. And try our best in everything that we do, and try our best for ourselves, and try our best for each other, and try our best for this world, and just fall into a state of acceptance and love, and being able to see the truth. See the truth of being alive, see the truth of how beautiful this world is, see the truth of how good it feels to be grateful, and how good it feels to live life in love with everything. So I really can't believe it's day 18. It feels so weird. Like, time is going by so slow, and I'm doing so many things that I feel like it should be going faster, but I'm still here in day 18. So that's really nice. I'm really, really enjoying my time. Yeah, everything just is so important. I feel like I'm just taking life a lot more seriously now. Like, if something is funny, then it's going to be seriously funny. If something is loving, then it's going to be seriously loving. Or if something is deep, it's going to be seriously deep. So yeah, just expanding everything and seeing so much more space and so much more openness exist around me and inside of me. Personally, I think I've done a lot of work unraveling a lot of the fears that I have been clinging onto in this life already. So I'm not really unraveling like these deep-seated fears anymore as I think about death. But I would assume that if you are hanging on to some fears, that this practice would definitely correspond to other fears that you might be holding on to in your life. Really just accelerating the processing of those fears and allowing them to pass through you, and knowing that they can exist, but you can still live your life in peace. This is definitely teaching me how much I want to live a spiritual life and how connected I want to be with not only my own spirituality, but with those who are also practicing and doing the work of healing and really existing in that realm. So much so that I know that I'm going to have to develop my career in this area because it's all I want to do, it's all I want to talk about. So that's something that's like the biggest thing that's been revealed to me throughout this time, knowing that I fully want to live my life this way and not negotiating giving something up or avoiding this now purpose in my life. Taking everything step by step, day by day, and just seeing what is being revealed to me and taking in the wisdoms that I need to take in and allowing myself not to rush any of the process that I'm going through in figuring things out and what I want to do and how I want to communicate and how I am just navigating through this life. So I think I'm going to end it there. I just want to thank everyone again for joining me here on this channel. This is so much fun. So I hope it's fun for you too, getting to listen to things like this. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. I will be talking about death again, probably in 2 more weeks after my next class, which is on the last Sunday of March. So that way I can do like bi-weekly updates and just talk about how I'm experiencing life and anything death related, and also what the classes are like and kind of what we're going through there. So yes, please subscribe to see more of me. Anyways, thank you everyone for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye.